But let's go to our next primetime game at 6:30, and that's the Texas A&M Aggies traveling to South Bend, take on the Golden Domers of Notre Dame. Fighting Irish laying 6.5, total 49.5. Any info on this one?
Once again, we have a game featuring two of the better teams in the country from a power rating standpoint. So guess what Connor's going to do? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to stay away.
Stay away, yeah. For me, this was it's been teetering between 6.5 and 7 all week. I could see people taking 7 with A&M after last year. That game was close. A lot of defense. The total is at 49.5. What scares me is Notre Dame's defense is not as good as they were last year. Defensive line's not as good as it was last year. A&M's kind of, they're getting built up with what's their coach's name again? Elko. Elko's a good coach. And they have a great offensive coordinator, Colin Klein, who will be the next head coach at Kansas State next year. I guaranteed that a couple weeks ago. A&M struggles against the run. UTSA ran the ball all over A&M, so I could see Notre Dame running the ball and trying to exploit the A&M defense. Something they didn't do against Miami for whatever reason. They did not try to run the ball against the Hurricanes until the second half, and magically in the second half, they looked great. I do like C.J. Carr. C.J. Carr exceeded my expectations, mainly in the second half. But I don't know. The Irish, definitely not as good as they looked last year. A lot of it is on the defensive side of the ball. And I wouldn't be surprised if A&M can keep this one tight. They have plenty of weapons. They got a lot of speed. Concepcion, he was a monster at North Carolina State. He's a monster at A&M. They got Marcel Reed, who, he could exploit this Notre Dame defense. So I think 6.5 may be too many points. For that reason, I don't trust the Notre Dame defense, especially the way they looked against Miami, against speed and power, something that A&M does have. I could see the Aggies keeping this one close. I don't know if they'll win, but I could see this being another 3 to 6 point game. It'd be hard for me to. It would be hard. What was that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it'd be hard for me to back Notre Dame based off of the way they played against Miami and how their defense looked. They struggle with speed, and A&M has speed. So I may take the Aggies in this. I don't have a bet on it yet because it keeps teetering between 6.5 and 7. But yeah, something's just telling me that the A&M defense or the Notre Dame defense struggles with speed, and A&M has speed, so it could be a closer game than the spread's showing us.
Texas A&M have an interesting nugget here. So the Aggies are just 3-12 against the spread under Mike Elko. That's the second worst mark in the country since Elko took over for A&M to begin 2024. Notre Dame is 29-14-1 against the spread under Marcus Freeman. That's the best mark in the country since Freeman took over as a head coach for the Fighting Irish in 2022. So we'll see.
Yeah, and that's good, and that's why I kind of felt comfortable laying a field goal at Miami, a couple weeks ago. But after the way that Notre Dame defense played, I expect them to play better. And they did have a bye last week. They were idle last week, so they had plenty of time to prepare, 2 weeks to prepare. So it wouldn't surprise me if Notre Dame shows out and plays well against A&M, a team that they played last year. But I'm just waiting to see how this spread looks tomorrow night. But yeah, because of that extra time to prepare, I could see Notre Dame stepping up. And 49.5, the under. I don't hate the under, but again, that Notre Dame defense is going to have to make some stops, though.
Yeah, this should be a very entertaining game. I'm looking forward to it.